everyone. I'm Martin, and thank you for joining us today for our weekly poetry analyzation. I am here today to analyze The Road Not Taken. So here's the poem. Two roads diverged in the yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both. And be one traveler, long I stood, and I looked down as far as I could to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then I took the other, as just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear, though as for that the passing there had worn them really about the same, and both that morning equally lay in leaves no step had trod in black. Oh, I kept the first for another day. Yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubt if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh. Somewhere ages and ages hence, two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less taken by, and that has made all the difference. So, what was this poem trying to talk about? Well, from my perspective, this poem is about life choices, and which choices you should be doing. Throughout the poem, the perspective decides what road you should be taking. People could say that life is a journey where you cross roads and take roads. Eventually, this main character, I guess you could say, took the one that's taken by, which means, of course, people don't walk on it as much. So if people don't want to walk on it, it means it's probably harder to walk through. And this probably means if it's harder to walk through, then if you walk on it, that means you are going to be a hardworking person, because it's hardworking to walk on this road. And if this is in fact a life journey, then this means you will be a hardworking person. He got what he wanted, and because he is a hard worker. Image. Two roads diverged in Yellowwood. So one of the poetic devices was image, and that was the example. At this time, you can imagine two different roads. Down in the forest, you could say, because life is a road, as some people say. This was put on the first line, so the first line should always be impacting, and so for me, it's life, and you could think about the forest. The second poetic device was rhyme. Throughout the poem, well, there's lots of rhyme, but this is one example. And both that morning equally lay in leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubt if I should ever come back. Rhyme always makes a poem more impactful. It makes you think about the poem more. You spend more time thinking and using your brain to find what's happening, and it flows along really well, and it's just good music. At this, so my wrap up, my final comments. Why did I choose this? Why did this inspire me when I first read this? At my age, this was a good time to think about my future. Like, everyone wants a good life, but how would you get it? This poem could tell you, and it's a very good inspirational poem to help you with life. Let's say something was really hard for you, and let's say programming. It takes time and time to learn it, but in the end, it will be good, because programmers get paid a lot, and in the end, your